Well, we have the eastern half of the roof here in this picture. I'll try to get a good exposure to show everybody what an older roof actually looks like. Some of you have never seen shingles that are 150 years or older, and here's what they look like after they've been rotted. Now, regular cedar shake shingles were made in the old days by carpenters or cabinet makers that knew how to split cedar into thin pieces. They tapered it with a draw knife and a maul. A maul was a 2.5-pound wooden instrument. It had a rather bell-shaped end with a handle about 5 inches long, and the draw knife was about 15 inches wide or 10 inches wide, depends on what they were cutting. And they put the handles up and the blade down and leveled it, and then hit it with the maul evenly across the blade between the handles. So it had a U shape headed downward, and the shingles then were cut off at about 3/8 of an inch or so thick at one end and then down to nothing at the other. So they tapered, and you lay the shingles so there's a 6-inch reveal, or maybe a little more sometimes, and then they interlapped them so that they would swell and overcome the gaps. So there's always a gap between the shingles for water to freeze and then also to dry. So it lasted very well for sometimes 70 years. And this roof's been on for approximately 155 to 175 years. We're not quite sure what the cabin has been dated, but I did find a boot in the wall. It belongs to a child, and I'll show you that later on. That boot is at least 160 years old from the style of the boot. It looks like around the time of the Civil War, the war between the states, 1861. So I know that we've got something old here. That's foregone conclusion. So that'll show you a little bit about the roofing and the property here from up on top. It's a very fine old property. And those of you that like old properties, you can easily see the quality of the wood and the workmanship with these hand-hewn headers on the bents. There's 3 bents to this house, and there's an 8x8 bent right there at the top of the wall, the bearing wall. That header, that cross tie, is an 8x8 oak beam, hand-hewn. You can see the adze marks in it. And then these purlins, or these rafters, they're at least a 3x4. Some of them are bigger than that because each one's a little different size, but roughly 3x4 or 3x5. So that's it for this video, and then I'll show you some more a little later. And we thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone. This is Dwight Dowson from Maxwell Historic Preservation.